The video about to watch right now is a very serious one, so I want you to pay serious attention, watch and understand. Don't forget, share the video on all social media platforms, share with your friends and loved ones. God bless you as to do so. Watch this video.
The president of the most powerful nation in the world just made a declaration and an endorsement that will significantly impact the USB movement. Yes. So the question here is, what is that declaration coming from the USA? Well, just in case you don't know, the president of the USA has approved and endorsed the USB embassy that was built in Washington, D.C. Yes. So in this video, I'll be exposing and revealing every single thing that's happened behind the scenes and every other thing that happened before the president of the most powerful nation in the world had no choice but to approve and endorse the USB embassy. Yes, this is going to be a very, very informative and interesting video, and I'll urge you to watch it up until the very, very end. So let's begin. Well, so how did the president of the USA get to see or understand the USB embassy that he just recently approved and endorsed? Well, it all kick-started on the 6th of November of 2024 last year, when Mr. Simon, who happens to be the Prime Minister, came out to make a very, very serious revelation. Well, showing right now on your screen is a post coming from his official Twitter page where he states, "Breaking. The Nigerian government officially wrote to the president of the USA so as to distance himself from my agitation for freedom. They actually advertised myself to the president." Yes, so as you can see, a series of individuals reported Mr. Simon to the sitting president of the USA so that he can distance himself from him and never endorse him in any way, shape or form. Well, showing right now on your screen is a particular example of an individual, a core member of the All Progressive Congress, who in a post called the attention of the president of the USA so that he can disassociate himself with Mr. Simon. Well, the plans of these individuals domiciled in the All Progressive Congress did not actually work to their plan. Yes, because something happened in reverse. Yes, something that many individuals weren't expecting at that point in time. So what really happened? Let me show this to you. Take a look at this post coming from Mr. Simon, where he claimed, "Breaking, I briefed the president of the USA campaign team on how the Nigerian terrorist state unalive many USB citizens who were celebrating his victory in 2016, and the message synced very well." So as you can see, this is a tweet coming from Mr. Simon where he claimed that he has briefed the campaign team of the sitting president of the USA regarding some situations that happened in Nigeria back in 2016. A couple of days later, we saw a video that went viral on all social media platforms where an individual representing the USB movement met with the campaign teams of President Trump so as to brief them and give them insights about the current situation in the southeastern Nigeria. Yes, so as you can see, we have this individual representing the USB movement having a series of conversations with foreigners domiciled in the USA, particularly in Washington, D.C. Yes, in that said meeting, Mr. Simon openly supported the sitting president of the USA in his quest on becoming the president of that nation. Yes, so Mr. Simon told the whole wide world that Mr. Trump is the only individual and the only candidate in the US presidential elections that can actually take USA to the next point and to the next level. He came out openly and shared his views and opinions regarding the USA presidential elections. Yes. A couple of days later, Mr. Simon dropped a tweet that gave us more clarity and better understanding on what happened in that meeting, where an individual representing the USB had to meet with the campaign teams of Mr. Trump. Well, showing right now on your screen is this actual tweet or post where it states, "I was among the first international politicians as the Prime Minister of the USB government to endorse the sitting president of the USA, and it will go in the stamp of history." Yes, so Mr. Simon happens to be the very first politician, international politician, to publicly endorse the sitting president of that nation. Yes, even Wikipedia had to record that feat. Yes, Wikipedia, which happens to be one of the biggest websites in the world, recorded the fact that Mr. Simon is the very first international politician to endorse the sitting president of the USA before their presidential elections. So this singular act of Mr. Simon drew the attention of Mr. Trump. Yes, so the president of the USA noticed that this man, Mr. Simon, a man from Nigeria and Finland, was so interested in his quest on becoming the president, and that sent some green lights to the current president of the USA. But before then, on the 26th of November of 2022, 3 years ago, we received a publication from Daily Post where it states Igbos inaugurate USB house in United States of America and give reasons. So as you can see, individuals from the USB inaugurated a house known as the USB house in America. Yes, showing right now on your screen is a picture recorded from that particular day and time where some individuals representing the USB came together, paid for an apartment and made it the USB official house. And at that point in time, that house wasn't recognized as an embassy. It was just like a meeting point for individuals and officials under the USB movement. Well, for better understanding and for more clarity, take a look at this post where it states Igbos residing in the USA have inaugurated the USB house in Oxon Hill in Maryland, Washington, D.C. Daily Post gathered that the USB house was inaugurated to serve people who believe in the USB and friends of the nation. This was authoritatively disclosed to Daily Post by a source. And interestingly, that USB house in Oxon Hill in Maryland, Washington, D.C. is just 19 minutes drive away from the White House domiciled in Washington, D.C. Yes. So showing right now on your screen is a clear description of the distance between the USB house and the White House domiciled in that country. As you can see, these two institutions were actually very close to each other. It was just 19 minutes drive from White House to the Oxon, Maryland house. Yes, so the proximity of this Igbo house in Washington, D.C. and the White House still in Washington, D.C. gained massive attention from politicians domiciled in the American politics. Yes, well, that wasn't all. On the 26th of August of 2023, 2 years back, we received a publication yet again from Daily Post where it states, Simon, the USB government in exile opens administrative office in the USA. It also went a step further to clarify that the USB government says it has opened an administrative office in Maryland, Baltimore, USA. The Prime Minister of that movement, known as Mr. Simon, disclosed this on Saturday on his official X handle. He said the office would boost the quest for the USB liberation and referendum. Yes, so as you can see, at this point in time, the USB already had two houses in Washington, two houses in the USA. One was located at the Baltimore, Maryland, and the second one was located in Oxon Hill, still in Maryland, Washington, D.C. This was a strategic move made by Mr. Simon. Yes, and just in case you don't know, this Baltimore, Maryland house was actually 1 hour drive away from the White House. Showing right now on your screen is a clear satellite image of the distance. So as you can see, it's just 1 hour drive away from each other. So fast forward to the 25th of February 2025. The Deputy Prime Minister of the movement, known as Ngozi Orabueze, met with an individual known as Elias Gerasulis. Yes, showing right now on your screen is a publication coming from Mr. Simon that gave more insight to estate. The USB lobbyist Elias Gerasulis and the USB Chief of Staff Dr. Ngozi Orabueze at the headquarters of the USB lobbyist firm in Washington, D.C. Yes, so Ngozi Orabueze met with this individual at Washington, D.C. to have conversations about the USB and also to turn all the USB houses in Washington to an embassy. So yeah, these guys had a series of conversations and they came to an understanding, and all of the documents were presented to an institution known as the U.S. Department of Justice. Yes, so this guy submitted a series of documents and letters to this particular group seeking permission to make the USB a nation and to make its houses an embassy. Yes, well, showing right now on your screen is a document you retrieved where we can clearly see the fact that Mrs. Ngozi Orabueze wrote to the U.S. Department of Justice requesting for a series of agendas to be made. Yes, the very first one is to make the USB a sovereign nation and also to make it a country of its own. And the second one was very, very simple: make our houses an embassy. Yes, so interestingly, a couple of days back, we received a notification that states, breaking, Department of Justice registers and recognizes the USB as a foreign nation and its cabinet members. We are no longer an agent organization. We are a nation with all the laws protecting a nation. Yes, this was a massive one for the USB movement. At the same time, as we speak, The USB house located in Oxon, Maryland is currently being transformed so as to occupy the office of the USB embassy in USA, Washington to be precise. So as you can see, this is a massive one for the USB movement, and this is a massive one for the Quest. Kudos to the sitting president of the USA in making this dream come to reality, and kudos to these lawyers standing or seated very close to the president of the USA, because these guys played massive role in ensuring the sovereignty of the USB. Anyways, if this is your first time seeing our videos, do well to subscribe and turn on post notifications, because here we discuss recent happenings and updates from all parts of the world. Yes, so if you want to be among the very first individual to catch our next update, do well to subscribe and turn on post notifications. Thanks. Anyways, moving on swiftly, as we speak, the current president of the USA has done something very, very big and gigantic for the USB movement. This man has endorsed the international passport that will be used officially by all citizens of the USB. Yes, in our previous video, we explained and showcased everything that has happened behind the scenes. Anyways, if you want to watch that video and get full updates, click on this video showing right now on your screen to watch and understand. Click on this video and I will see you on the other side. Thanks for watching.
I'm sure you have watched this video. Now, let me know your thought and your opinion in the comment section. What I'm going to say to us is that this is not the time for us to be judging, for us to be condemning, for us to be abusing, for us to be insulted. This is the time for us to sit down and ask ourselves, what can we do so this country can be better? So things can work according to the way we want it to be. What can we do? These are some of the questions that I think we don't even ask ourselves. Every time, what most of us will think about is, how can this country scatter? How can this country divide? Yes, we are all tired. If you are not tired of the things going on in the country, I'm tired. But I don't want us to ever I don't want us to have that mindset or that thought of war in this country, because I've always said it. You need to understand that when it happens, it is you and I that will suffer the most. There is this popular saying that when two elephants fight, it is the ground and the grass that suffers. In this context, in this case, it is you and I that is both the ground and the grass. When these politicians start fighting, when that war that some of us are calling for start happening, it is you and I and our family members that are going to suffer the most. So it is important for us to be careful of the things we wish for concerning this country, Nigeria. A lot of us, especially my brothers and sisters from the East, we want Biafra to come. What can we do for us to achieve that without war? These are the questions we need to ask, because listen, war is not an option at all. Don't pray for that. Don't pray for war. Yes, we want Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to come out. We want Simon Ekpa to be released. We want everything to work well. We want Biafra to come, but we want to do it peacefully. I've always been talking about this book, The Art of War. The book teaches you how to win battles without fighting. That is what we must be looking at. How can we achieve all these things without fighting? Let's be looking at all those things. This thing that some of us says, let's go to war, let that happen, let this happen, is not an option. The men of God, they have spoken. They have said what God has shown them. Now, another duty we have is to go to God in prayer. And one prayer I've always asked us to pray is that we should pray for the will of God to be done in our country, Nigeria. Nigeria is a blessed nation. Forget about all the things you are saying. Let us pray for the will of God to be done. And I want you to know this. If God's will is for Nigeria to divide, even Tinubu cannot stop it. It may tarry, but it will surely come to pass. It may not happen right now, but it will surely come to pass. Just understand, know what God's will is. Know what God's will is for Nigeria, so that you understand what you are dealing with. Because if God's will is for Nigeria to remain as one, you are fighting a losing battle. Because the Bible made us understand that if God is not there, he said that the watchman watcheth in vain. He said that the builder buildeth in vain. If God's hand is not in this agenda, it is in vain. It is in vain, because there is this saying that if God be for you, who can be against you? Now change it and ask yourself, if God be against you, who can be for you? Ask yourself that question. If God's will is for Nigeria to remain one, to remain as one, do you want to fight God? Who can battle with the Lord? Can you fight God? No. So that is why it is important for us to understand what the will of God is for our country, Nigeria, before we start making, like creating problem, doing the things that are not supposed to be done. Yes, I've always, if you have been following me, I've always been on of the opinion that Nigeria is not treating the Igbo man well. Even Joshua Iginla have said it. A lot of people have said it. Nigeria is not treating them well. Why can't you allow these people to also rule this country, Nigeria? Are they not Nigerians? Are they not Nigerians? All these things, the politics in this country is too much. And that is why you see the Igbos agitating, calling for Nigeria to be divided. But I feel that if a leader who understands how to manage and rule a country comes into power, Nigeria will be better. Give everybody equal chance. Give the Igbos what they deserve. Give Yoruba what they deserve. Give Hausa what they deserve. Another thing I feel I have always been suggesting is practicing confederation system of government. I don't know if I got that right. Where every region have to manage their own resources. Every region manage your own resources. People, Easterners will have like an Eastern president. North will have a Northern president. South will have a Southern president. Then you rule your own people. Manage your own resources and then report back to the federal government with a percentage, like you are paying tithes or tax to them. But let every region manage their own resources. We will still remain as Nigeria. We'll have something like a United States of Nigeria, or we'll make it every state manage your resources. That way nobody will feel cheated. You will not say you are taking my money from the state and go and develop another person's state, because that is practically what is happening in this country. Niger Delta, Rivers State, they produce at least 70% of the Nigeria oil, if I'm not mistaken. But look at Rivers State, look at Niger Delta. Where is the development? There is no working refinery here. Nothing is working. But I believe that if we start managing our own resources, the development, it will be massive. It will be massive. The seaport we have here is really not working. Nothing is working because some people have decided to colonize everything. The channel sun to the north, to the west. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So please, let's try to understand all these things. I'm not against Biafra. I'm not also against Nigeria. What I want is for anything that is going to promote peace and unity. Is anything that is not going to destroy your life and your properties. That is what I want. I want the will of God to be done in this country, Nigeria. And that is my own heartfelt cry. I want the will of God to be done in Nigeria. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please do it to subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notification bell so whenever I post another video, you will notify for you. Turn a subscriber. I want to say thank you to you. Thank you for always stopping by to watch our video. We love and appreciate the support you give us on this channel. Please don't forget, share this on social media platform, share with your friends and loved ones. God bless us to do so. I'll see you in the next one. You are blessed.